In any organization, communication is a vital element that shapes how decisions are made, how tasks are complete, and how relationships between bosses and workers maintained within the workplace. Based on this case study titled Another Staff Meeting, focuses on communication breakdowns, poor leadership behavior, and ineffective decision-making in organization structure. Also, it purposes to improvement that can enhance productivity, effective, and employee engagement in future meetings.
Firstly, the meeting lacked structure and clear direction. It was called last minute, and no one really knew why it was happening. In fact, when Rudy was asked about it, he just shrugged. On top of that, Jim showed up 10 minutes late and opened with a vague statement about catching up. It was clear he hadn't prepared. This confused the team and made the meeting feel unimportant, which led to disengagement from the start. Secondly, Jim's leadership style was very top-down and dismissive. For instance, when June raised a valid concern about the VIP service program, Jim shut her down by questioning her experience and dismissing her input. This kind of reaction made people feel unheard and disrespected. It discouraged open communication and created a psychologically unsafe environment where staff didn't feel comfortable speaking up. On top of that, Jim avoided addressing the real issues the team was facing. Instead of focusing on the complaints about the VIP program, which was clearly affecting morale and workflow, he shifted the conversation to his usual or complaints about red tape. It seemed like a way to control the meeting and defend his past decisions rather than actually solve problems. When he dismissed June's feedback, again calling it impossible and unworkable, it felt like a power move to shut down any opposition. Finally, the decision making during the meeting was one sided and ineffective. Jim told the team to come up with 3 ideas to reduce red tape by the next day without checking if that was even realistic or considering their current workloads. For example, June was already tied up with the Harvard project. This kind of rush top down decision making made the staff feel ignored and undervalued. No one felt motivated to contribute and clearly damaged morale and trust within the team.
Today, I will talk about the effectiveness of decision making in Jim McLean leadership based on the case study and suggest ways to improve it. Why Jim shows some positive aspects, such as involving his team in solving bureaucratic issues, his overall leadership style handled decision making. He often scheduled meetings last minute without a clear agenda, leaving the team unprepared and frustrated. His autocratic style also discouraged open dialogue, as seen when he dismissed June's valid concern about the VIP service program. Another major issue is poor prioritization. Jim focused on reducing red tape instead of fixing immediate problems like the failing VIP services. He also set unrealistic expectations by demanding rush ideas despite his team heavy workload. Finally, his meeting lacked clear follow-up, leaving the team confused about the next step. To improve, Jim should plan structured meetings with clear objectives, adopt a participative leadership style, and prioritize urgent issues. He must also set realistic deadlines and follow up on the decision. Lastly, leadership training can help Jim enhance his communication and decision making, creating a more effective and motivated team. Thank you.
So to address the communication and leadership breakdowns in this case, our group proposes several clear and practical recommendations. The first recommendation is that structured meeting planning must be implemented. One of the core issues was Jim's habit of calling meetings at the last minute with no agenda. This causes confusion and prevents employees from preparing meaningful input. So to fix this, meetings should be scheduled in advance with a clear agenda shared beforehand. This helps employees to manage their workload, allocate time for preparation, and come to the meeting ready to contribute. It also sends a strong message that the leader values their time. Second, Jim needs to shift from an autocratic leadership style to a participative one. In the case, his top-down approach and rejection of employee input, especially June's, created a toxic atmosphere. Participative leadership, where team members are invited to share their views and those views are taken seriously, fosters a sense of ownership. So, this kind of engaging leadership can improve employee commitment, morale, and productivity. Jim should practice active listening and ask open-ended questions to encourage participation. The third recommendation is issue prioritization is essential. Jim chose to focus on reducing bureaucratic red tape instead of addressing the more urgent issue, which is the VIP service program, which was clearly affecting the entire team's performance. So leaders must be able to distinguish between long-term systemic issues and immediate operational challenges. Failing to do so can frustrate staff and derail productivity. So conducting a quick priority assessment before meetings can help to align focus with the most pressing concerns. The next recommendation is that it is important for Jim to set realistic and achievable expectations. In the case, he demanded that every team member submit 3 ideas by the next morning, despite knowing they were already overwhelmed with tasks like the Howard project, for example, according to the case. This shows a lack of empathy and awareness of his team's capacity. So setting more reasonable deadlines would not only improve the quality of outcomes, but also protect team members from burnout. Fifth, every meeting should end with a clear follow-up plan. This includes summarizing action items, assigning responsibilities, setting timelines. Without follow-up, meetings become unproductive and repetitive. It also builds accountability and helps track process over time. Jim could use tools like shared meeting notes or task management platforms to maintain clarity and continuity. And finally, we recommend that Jim participates in leadership and communication training, because these programs can help him to develop essential soft skills like emotional intelligence, active listening, and conflict resolution. When leaders grow in these areas, they not only make better decisions but also build more engaged and resilient teams. So by implementing all these strategies, Jim can rebuild trust with his team, foster better communication, and ultimately create a more positive and productive organizational culture.
In summary, after analyzing the case study, some of the key issues related to communication, leadership, organization politics, and decision making. Proper communication helps in the coordination the different activity and improve interpersonal relationship among the people working in an organization. This case study revealed that there must be a positive relationship between superior and subordinate.